Welcome back to Arena Isaac FX. As promised, we are going to analyze GBPUSD being the first week of 2025. So we are going to want to know what is the general direction of GBPUSD. Are we continuing to sell, or are we going to see a reversal to upward trend? So to those who have been following me, last year we had a very remarkable profit. If you have been following my analysis, I know you have pocketed some pips last year. So this year we are going to check what is the general direction of GBPUSD. I've already done Euro USD. Go check my previous video, and I hope you are going to get some idea on how to analyze every pair. So this is the second pair I'm going to analyze of this year, and this is the general picture. So whatever I'm going to analyze here, it doesn't mean that it will take it will happen right now. It may take some few months, or some few months or weeks for it to happen. So guys, so as usual, we are a swing trader. Let us start with 3-month time frame so that we can see the general picture. And the general picture, all of us, we can see that the market has been what? The market has been downtrending. It has been selling from this point here. I'm using Owanda. So the market has been selling from this point. It has been forming higher low, lower low. So it has been forming, this is the higher high, came and form higher low, came and form here, higher low, higher low. So this is the lower low, came and form another lower low and another lower low. So currently the market has not formed yet another low past this. It has not formed this low. It does not break this low. So still, this is the current lower low, and this is the current higher low. Are we together, guys? So let us see whether we can draw a trend line there. So as usual, you change your chart pattern from being a candle chart pattern to a line chart pattern. So let us draw our trend line. By right now you know how to draw a trend line. I hope that it is not an issue now. So I will connect all these higher lows. I will connect them and see whether we can come up with something. So in 3 months, we can see that the market has been forming higher low, lower low. Can you see? So this is the same as if you have watched my Euro USD, the first video of 2025 video. Euro USD is the same as GBP USD. Can you see? So the market has been below this low. It has been below this trend line, and unfortunately at this point, the market has done what? It has broken the trend line. Are we together? And I told you, I've done a research. I've done a quite good research, back testing, and I've noticed that once the many times the trend line has been touched, it always break at either the fourth time or the third time. So let us count. This is the first time it was touched, the second time it will hit this position, and the third time it hit this position. So on the fourth time, it will always be broken. Either it will break it and continue to go high, or we might have a fake out. Are we together? So this is an indication that these are two possibilities. We might have a continual uptrend, or this can be what? This can be a fake out. This can be a fake out, then we continue, and then a retest, we will continue the downward trend line. Are we together? So in the 3 months, we have seen that this trend line has been broken. This trend line has been broken. Are we together? So let us draw the significant point of interest. Let us draw the significant areas. So the part of the significant, let us ask ourselves, why did the price action came, reach here, and then it went up, came again, retest this zone, it became a support, put the price action upward again, it puts the price action upward, and then we had a breakdown here, and then the current position is the price is above that zone. The price is above this zone. So I'm going to draw this zone as the key point of this year 2025. Are we together? So that will be the key point. So I'm going to draw it with a line, but I know it will be like a zone. So this is a line. So this is the key area. That will be the key area. If the price is below that zone, it will act as a resistance. But if the price will be above that zone, it will act as a support. Are we together? So I know you'll be asking, why did I indicate it with the blue zone, with the blue line? Can you see the price action currently? It is above that zone. The price action is above that zone. So the price broke this zone and retested it. It came it and used this zone to put the price action upward. Currently, the price action is above this zone. So it acts as a what? It acts as a support. And then I told you guys, once the trend line is broken, if the upper trend line was broken, now, for example, what do I mean is, I mean this way, this trend line acts as a resistance. Once it has been broken and retested, the price action, it will use it as a support. It will use it as a support. So I'm expecting this trend line to hold this price action upward. Are you together? If it will be broken now, it will be like a resistance. Are you together? Am I clear? So that is one point. That is one point of interest. That is a major point of interest. Are we together? So another question we are going to ask ourselves: when the price came and retraced back and reclaimed this position, why did it stop up to this zone? Why did it stop up to this zone? It could have continued. It could have continued upward. But why did the price action? Remember, I'm using pure price action. Why did the price action stop at this zone? Why? The answer is, if you go back to the left side, you can see that the same price action, the same point, the price use it as a resistance. The same point, the price use it as what? As a resistance. So this zone, we are going to label it as a resistance. Are we together? So that's the first resistance we are going to we are going to indicate there. We are going to mark this zone as a resistance. That zone as a resistance, and you know my resistance is red with a red color. Are we together? And then the second resistance we are going to do where we are going to label this also as a resistance. The whole of this as a resistance. The whole of this zone to be a resistance. So currently we have 2 resistance zone and 1 support zone. This is for the whole year 2025. This is for the 2025 plan. Are we together? So another question is, why did this price action reach here? Instead, it could have continued downward. But why did this price action reach here and we had a very deepward retracement? Why? So the answer is, remember here we have an M. Can you see an M? This is an M. So those who don't know what I'm trying to mean, this is an M. Can you go and revisit my video and you shall see how to trade an M pattern. So this is an M. This is an M. And you know how to trade an M pattern. So if the neckline of an M pattern is broken, which is this one, if the neckline of an M pattern is broken, which is this one, are we together? The distance between these two highs of an M, the price will go downward. The whole of this distance from these two double top to the neck zone, the distance from that, the price will drop up to that distance. Are we together? And I told you TP1 is always a guarantee. TP1 is always a guarantee. TP1 is always a guarantee. Then TP2, the chances of price hitting TP2, it is 70%. Are we together? So let us mark that distance and see, did we complete that M pattern distance? So we are going to mark that distance and see, did we really complete that distance pattern? So let us continue. So price action or forex trading, it is a game of probability. Don't just put buying or sell position without asking yourself, why am I selling? Why am I buying? What are the things that show me that I should buy? Are we together? So let us see. If you can all see that the TP1 was hit. TP1 was hit. This was TP1. I'm going to mark that TP1 there. TP1 was hit. And I told you guys, TP1 is always a guarantee. TP1 is always a guarantee. So that is a TP1 which was hit. And TP2 is the whole distance. So we are going to mark TP2 and TP1. So this will be our TP2. That will be our TP2. Are we together? That was supposed to be our TP2. But what is the role of this game? What is the rule? The rule is once TP1 has been hit, the price always tends to go to the entry position. Where was the entry position? The entry position now, it was at the neck zone. It was at the neck zone. It was at the neck zone. If you can remember, please go watch that video I told you. So please go watch that video I told you how to trade the setup. So once TP1 has been broken, most of the time, the price always retraces back. It always retraces back to where? It always retraces back to the neckline, and then we continue to do what? We continue to TP2. We continue to TP2. But now we can see here the price went deeper. The price went deeper. It retraced deeper. So it has violated that rule. It has violated the rule. It has violated that rule. Are we together? So we cannot continue trading with that rule. So we are going now to continue to the downward time frame, to lower time frame, and see whether we can see something of significance so that we can locate where is the direction of the market. Are we together? So we are expecting that when the price retraces back, it should not have gone upward. It should not have retraced back. Are we together? So if it could have retraced up to here, so we were expecting it to come and hit our TP2. I hope I'm making sense. Are we together? So let us continue. So let me, we have already violated that pattern, so we cannot continue. We cannot continue with that. But now this one, it acts as our support, our lower low. So which is our support? So I'm going to put it with a blue color. So which is a support. Now, in the 3-month time frame, what pattern or what setup are you seeing? What setup are we seeing here? What setup are we seeing? I know most of us, we are going to say, we have what? We have this an M pattern. Most of people see this an M pattern. Another person or another group of people, which I'm included, I'm seeing what? I'm seeing a possible inverse head and shoulder. A possible inverse head and shoulder. This being the shoulder, these two being the shoulder, which is the support, and then the head, which is now a fake out, then the left shoulder, and after the left shoulder, we are waiting to form this will be the what? This will be the neckline of our head, inverse head and shoulder. This will be our neckline. This will be our neckline. So we have already now forming an idea in 3 months. We are now forming an idea in 3 months. Are we together? We are now coming up with an idea. We might have an inverse head and shoulder. This being the shoulders, and the shoulders are always what? The shoulders are always the support. Then this is what? This is the fake out, and then which is our head. Then this is the left shoulder, and then this is our neckline. This is our neckline. Are we together? So let us continue. In 1 month time frame. So if you go down to monthly time frame, the same position you can see now we marked in 3 months time frame. They are now clear. You can now see them clearly. You can now see them clearly. This is what I was telling you. The reason why this point the price action never went above this point is because of this zone. So this zone acted as a resistance. Here it acted as support, but now it came and acted as what? It came and acted as a resistance. So let me change it to candle chart pattern so that you can see it clearly. Now, can you see what I'm trying to mean? So this point acted as what? Acted as a resistance. Here it acted as a support, then resistance here, and then resistance here. Are we together? So another point, this one is acted as support, and then here it acted as a resistance, support. Then the current price action is at this point. The current price action is at this point. So our major concern or our major question is, the bigger question is are we going to break this zone? Are we going to break this zone? Are we going to break this zone? Remember, I told you this is a support zone, and then below it we have what? We have this trend line. We have this trend line which was broken, and I told you guys, once the trend line is broken upward, always the price action always use it as a support. Can you see here? The price action broke it, then it used this as a support. This trend line here as a support. So the major question is, are we going to break this zone like that? Are we going to break it with a candle like that? Then if you are going to break it with a candle like that and then retest it, you can retest it here from there. Then be sure you'll be coming to this zone. Be sure you'll be coming to this zone. Are we together? So in the monthly time frame, we can now see clear information. In the monthly time frame now we can see clear information. We can see what I've just drawn. This is another idea. Are we together? In the monthly time frame, there's nothing we can see. There's no big information you can get from monthly time frame. So let us continue and see whether we are going to see whether we can draw a trend line here. In the monthly time frame, I can see a possible trend line here, and if you are not sure about it, just change your chart pattern to line chart pattern so that you can see it clearly. So I can see a possible trend line here, a very good trend line here, that is forming, or it has already formed. Can you see? That is an upward trend line. So that zone, and no wonder that area, the price action is finding hard to break it. No wonder the price action is finding hard to break this zone. Why? Because it formed here as a support, and currently the price action is above here. It is at this zone. So anyone who is trying to sell this point, anyone who is trying to sell at this point, remember you are selling at the support zone. You are selling at the support zone, which is very, very dangerous. What are we going to do? We are going to wait for all. If you want to sell, you are going to wait for all this point to be cleared out. We are going to wait for all that point to be cleared out, then retested. Once it has been retested, now we are going to sell. We are clear to sell. That is scenario number one. Scenario number two is always sell when the price is high. Always sell when the price is high. I want us to ask ourselves. Let me show you another matrix here. Let us ask ourselves. The price was moving upward. It reached here. Remember, it reached here. Then the sellers took it downward. Let us ask ourselves, why did the price reach here then went downward? So what happened here? If you go to the left, you shall find that this zone is of a great value. This zone. Let me draw it so that you can see that zone acted as a resistance, support, and resistance and support. So in the monthly time from now, we are now forming another zone. We are now forming a great zone there. And since the price is below that area now, we are going to form what? We are going to indicate it as a resistance zone. So correct. So can you see at this point the price action was at this zone, and the sellers push it downward. At this point, buyers use this area zone as a support and push the price upward. Here the same. At this zone, this buyers use this area and push the price upward. So let us change it to the candle price action, and you can see now. Can you see? So these areas are very important when it comes to 2025. These areas are very important. Please go draw these areas in your chart. They are very, very important. And you can see now that the price action is at this zone. It is at this zone. Can you see? It is at this zone. So are we going to push are we going to come back up to this zone? Are we going to come back up to this zone to retrace up to that zone before we drop? Or are we going, or before we drop? Are we together? Or that is scenario number one. Or are we going to continue to sell and break all this structure, break it like that, retest it, and then come up to this zone? Are we going to do that? That's another possibility. Another possibility is, are we going to form a channel, a range market here? Maybe it will come like that. Then we form a range market like that. Are we going to do this coming in 2025? Are we going to do this coming 25 before it go down or go up? Are we going to do that? You never know. That is a probability. But I'm off selling. I'm supporting to sell this pair. Are we together? My biggest percentage is I'm selling this pair. I'm support to sell this pair, and I will tell you why. So those are the 3 or 4 scenarios that GBPUSD is trying to tell us. Are we together? So in the monthly time frame, what do you see here? In the monthly time frame, what do we see here? What do we see here? Remember, in the 3-month time frame, we saw an inverse head and shoulder. But now, in the monthly time frame, what do we see here? If you have been following me now, you can clearly see that we are having a head and shoulder. We are having a head and shoulder. Why do I mean that way? So this is the shoulder, this is the shoulder, this is the head. Then we are yet to form the left shoulder. Then this is the neckline. This will be our neckline. This will be our neckline. I will draw it for you. This will be our neckline. Are we together? So let me draw that neckline so that we can be watching that neckline. We can be watching that neckline. So our neckline is like the whole of this candle. The whole of this candle. Can you see this candle? The whole of this candle. That is our neckline. That is our neckline. The whole of that candle. That is our neckline. So I will draw it. Let me draw it for you. So the whole of that candle is our neckline. So let me draw it for you. So the whole of this candle is our neckline in the monthly time frame. The whole of that candle is our neckline. And remember, our neckline, when it comes to head and shoulder, it is what? It is a support. It is a support. And you can see if you extend it, if you extend that candle to the left, you can see it has covered the major key zone. It has covered the major key zone, meaning that this is now our support. This is now our support. Remember, I told you that now that it will be our zone, the key major zone. The key major zone. The key major zone is that zone there I've drawn. When it comes to monthly time frame, is that zone I've drawn there. So we shall be patient, waiting for this zone to be broken, retested, then we shall enter for sale up to that zone. If you are a swing trader. If you are a swing trader, we shall wait for that zone to be broken, retested, and enter. Are we together? I hope I'm clear. That is scenario number 1. Scenario number 2 is the price action might come, decide to form another shoulder here. Then if it comes back here, form another shoulder here, we shall enter to sell to this zone, up to this zone. Are we together? And come out of that trade. And remember, I've just said that this might take long time. This might take long time. It can take even 3 or 2 months to form. So let us continue to weekly time frame. Let us continue to weekly time frame. I know you might ask yourself, oh, why should I wait for all those time? Why can't I just enter for intraday trader or daily trader? I'll be showing you, if you are a day trader, I'll be showing you how to enter or how to trade this pair. I'll be showing you how to enter or how to trade this pair. So let us continue. This is weekly time frame, and in weekly time frame now we are going to be very serious. Why? Because now we are going to indicate our major key zone, where to enter if you are a day trader. Now I'll be showing you how to trade this pair. So in the weekly time frame, there is something that is clear. In the weekly time frame, there is something that is clear, and I want you to see. We have a channel here. We have a channel there. In the weekly time frame, something is clear. We have a channel there. I know it will be confusing, but this is how you analyze trade. This is how you analyze forex trading. You have to see everything. You don't have just to rely on one side. You have to see all possibility, because if you rely on one side, you are going to make a very big mistake. Because this bigger institution, they will try to force you to see what they want you to see. Are we together? They will try to force you to see what they want you to see, and before you come to notice, it will be too late. It will be too late. So, can you see this channel? The price action currently is between this channel. It is between this channel. Can you see? It is between that channel. And I told you guys, the more number that trend line is being touched or support the price action, there is a high possibility that we are going to break that side of the channel. Are you together? What do I mean? You can see here, this trend line has held this price action twice. 1, 2, and then now this is that time. This is that time. So I told you, once it has held around 3 to 4 times, once it has supported the price action 3 to 4 times, we are expecting it to be weak, and it will break. So there is higher possibility we are going to break this trend line downward. There is high possibility we are going to break this trend line downward. Are we together? There is high possibility of that. That's why I'm saying I'm support bearish. I'm bearish on this GBPUSD. There is high possibility of that. So currently the price action is at this channel here, upward channel. Can you see? It has that currently. So it is like that. And then remember, if it is like that, if you can come again here and draw, and you shall see there is something that is forming. It is a channel within a channel. So that's why there is a lot of confusion of what is happening. If you draw another trend line there, I know there is a lot of lines here, but I want you to see everything. I want you to see everything that this bigger institution they are trying to portray. If you draw another trend line there, and then we have a lower trend line here, we have a lower trend line down here to form what? To form a channel. We have a lower trend line down here to form a channel like that. You can see we have also a downward trend line. We have a downward channel. What do I mean? I mean that the price was in between this zone, this channel. It was here. It is in between that channel. So the bigger question is, which channel are we going to obey? Which channel are we going to obey? Which channel are we going to obey? Is it this bigger channel, downward channel, or is this small channel, which is upward channel? Are we going to obey those? So which are we going to obey? Since the higher time frame, it has been indicating that we have been downward trend line. I'm of this bigger channel. I'm of this downward channel. I'm of this downward channel. But we are yet to see. We are yet to see. So the bigger thing is, the bigger question is, if the price action will break, if sellers will break this zone like that, if they will break that zone like that, be sure and retest. Be sure we are coming to take this. We are coming here first. Be sure we are coming there first. Be sure of that. Be sure we are coming there to test that, and then in the future, let me draw it well. In the future, we shall do what? In the future, we shall retest this channel. Let me draw it here. If it will come down and break this and retest, then in the future it will come up to here, and then we retest this lower trend line. Are we together? So that is scenario number one. So let me change it to candle chart pattern, and now be serious. Now be specific. So this is weekly time frame. This is weekly time frame, and in the weekly time frame, what do we see? In the weekly time frame, the same way we saw in the monthly time frame. This is the monthly time frame. What did we see in the monthly time frame? I told you there's a possibility of having what? There's a possibility of having head and shoulder. There's a possibility of having head and shoulder. And I told you this is the shoulder, this is the head. And if you can see in the weekly time frame, by the way, I never saw it. In the weekly time frame, we have already formed a left shoulder. We have already formed a left shoulder. And now this zone is what? This zone is our neck zone. This zone is our neck zone. Now let me delete that now and show you. So in the weekly time frame, that will be our what? That will be our neck zone. That will be our neck zone. What do I mean? I mean that this is our shoulder. This is our shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder. All of this is our head. All of this is our head. Then the price has formed what? The price has formed a left shoulder. The price has formed a left shoulder, and currently the price it has the neck. This is now the neck. This is now the neck in the weekly time frame. This is now the neck in the weekly time frame. This is now our neck in the weekly time frame. And no wonder last week price came, it never broke this this zone, and now this week we can see the presence of bias. We can see the presence of bias. So the major question is, are we going to form another left shoulder here? Are we going to form another left shoulder here? Or are we going to have what? Are we going to have a range market? Are we going to have a ranging market before the price go down, break it down, or before the price does what? Before the price break upward. So are we going to do that? Are we going to do this before the price go down like that? So that is the major question. That is the major question. And how are we going to answer that question? We are going to answer that question bit by bit. We are going to answer that question bit by bit and see bit by bit. So I know that I'll be confusing you, but I want you to see a very big picture here. Most of us, we shall focus on this, but I want you to see the whole of this. The price action may use this as the whole of this. It may be used as a what? It may be those who are trading with a chart pattern. The whole of this may be an inverse cap or inverse cap and what do we call it? Cap and handle. The inverse cap and handle. The whole of this, it may be a cap and handle, meaning that this is now our cap. This is now our cap. Then the handle will be like this. The handle will be forming like this. This is now our handle. This is now our handle, which is the price action now I've been drawing. That this will be our handle. Remember, this is the long term. I'm telling you, this is the 2025 plan. Then once the handle has been formed and the level of that cap has been broken, which is now our neck zone over head and shoulder. Now, once it has been broken downward, remember we are going from this distance, from the shoulder to the neck. That distance we are going downward. We are going downward. Right together. So that is my plan. That is my plan. So let me draw that distance. Remember, this is a long-term plan. So it may not form today, tomorrow, or next week, but it will take time for it to form. So let me draw that distance. So we are going to take TP1 as I told you. TP1 will be what I told you. TP1 it will be what I was telling you guys. So TP1 it will be the what I told you. Take the TP2, it is guarantee sure. TP1, sorry, TP1 is a guarantee sure. Then TP2 we are going to wait. So let me tell you where are we going once we have broken that level. So guys, if you are going to break that zone, TP1 will be here, TP1 will be there, TP1 it will be there around 1.21267. TP1 will be there. TP2 now will come up to this zone. So we are going to target TP1 for the first time. We are going to target TP1 first, then TP2 now will come later. So we are going bit by bit. So if this zone will be broken, if the price action will break this zone, if the price action will break this one like this, for example, if you are going to come like this and then break this zone, retest, we shall enter for sell to this zone. We shall enter for sell here to this zone. Are we together? Once we have entered for sell for that zone, then once the price action retrace a bit like that, we shall enter for sell and accomplish this zone. That is my plan for GBPUSD. That is my plan for GBPUSD. So mark that zone. Mark all those areas I've shown you. Mark all those areas I've shown you. So let's go to daily. Let us go to daily and see. Let us go to daily now and see that already we have already formed what? We have already formed a bias. We have already formed a bias. We already formed an idea of what is happening. Are we together? We have already formed an idea of what is happening. So in daily time frame, what are we going to see? For example, if the price action decided to be arranging to be range, for example, what do I mean range? Like this. If the price action decide to form a range zone like that, now you are not going to enter that price action because it will be very hard to trade a range market. It will be very hard to trade a ranging market. But now, if in case you are a day trader, intraday trader, and say I cannot wait until this price action to reach here, until this price action to reach up to this zone, I cannot wait for that. So where are we going to buy? If you are in buying position, if you want to buy this pair, which I'm discouraging, it is very, very dangerous to do that. But if you cannot wait, how are we going to buy this pair? You are going to buy this pair by, let me show you, and I will tell you why we are going to buy there. So the current resistance, it is at this zone. So you are going to wait. Let me show you. So before I show you, there's something I've seen here, that the daily time frame, it has already formed a trend line downward like that. It has already formed a downward trend line like that. Right together. So it has already formed there's a good downward trend like that. And then I can see a possibility of forming a channel here, but it's not that clear. I will not force it. Remember, if you don't see it well, don't force it. If you cannot draw it well, don't force it. That is the rule. Don't force a trade. Don't force any trade. But there is a downward trend channel like that. So that is in daily time frame. So if you're going to buy, sorry guys. So if you're going to buy, where are you going to buy? So if you're going to buy, sorry for that. So let me draw this. Let us draw this. Very good. So if you want to buy this pair, how are you going to do it? So at first, there is a good downward channel. There is a good downward channel in daily time frame. So if you're going to buy, how are you going to do, or how are you going to go about it? Remember, there is a good resistance zone here, the current resistance here in daily time frame. If you are an intraday trader or day trader, that is now the plan. This is now your plan. If you cannot wait, this is now the plan. If you cannot wait now, this is now the plan. For example, if you see that if you think that the price will come up to this zone first, then drop. So if you're going to buy, what are we going to see, or what are the things that we are going to see before we buy? First of all, I can see another zone here, but the major goal is the price action must break this point. It must break this upper trend line and this resistance. It must break like that, then come and reclaim it. Once it has reclaimed, now we are going to buy up to this zone. We're going to buy up to that zone, up to here. We're going to buy up to that zone. That is my plan. If you are intraday trader, all together. If you are an intraday trader, and then, but another possibility is what I've been telling you, that we are going to sell. We are going now to wait. If you are now going to wait, we are going to wait for this zone to be broken. This zone to be broken. For example, it will be broken like that. Retest that zone. Once it has been retested, we are going to enter for sell, and then up to this zone. Up to this zone. Remember, and I'm telling you, and mark my word, this zone, it is of great value. Why? It will have the price action, it will be retesting this lower trend line, another lower trend line, and then our profit. So 1.21267 is of high important value, this zone. When it comes to 2020, this year 2025, this zone, it is of great value. 1.21267 GBPUSD, I'm calling it out now. 1.21267, that is the greater value or zone that we are going to drop to. That is the direction. Are we together? That is the direction. I know it might take time. I'm aware of that, but when it comes to trading, patient are always, those who are patient, they are being rewarded in a bigger way. They are being rewarded in a bigger way. So be patient, guys. Be patient, and you are going to be rewarded around 230 pips. Around 230 pips. So be patient, and you are going to be rewarded. You are going to be rewarded. So, but if you are an intraday trader, if you are a scalper, I know you might buy or sell. It's okay. But now I'm giving you as what? I'm giving you as a swing trader. So if you're an intraday trader, those scalper people, I know you might say, oh, how can I buy or sell that point? There's a zone there. There's a zone there. And why am I drawing this zone? Because this zone, it has been retested several times. So it will act as a support. It will act as a support. So there's a zone there. Now I'm using 4-hour time frame. I'm in now my 4-hour time frame. And now we are going now to narrow down. I will not continue downward again, because now it will now be a lot of details if you are a swing trader. So let me show you. Something. If you are an intraday trader or scalper, if the price action still maintain, our buyers or sellers will not break this zone here, the blue line. If sellers will not break the blue line of this zone, if they will not break it, for example, if they will come retest it like that, remember now this in 4-hour time frame, this is now our inverse head and shoulder. We have already formed a shoulder here, the head. Are we together? And then this will be our another shoulder, and then this is our neckline. This is now our neckline. So if the sellers will not break this zone with a body candle, now be sure we will be coming up to here, and then we shall wait for this zone to be broken like that. Then once it has been broken, reclaim. You can be confident that we are going to do what we are going to buy up to this zone that I told you. We are going to buy up to this zone. But if sellers will have power and break this support, if sellers will have the power and break this support like that, be sure we are going to retest it. Once we have retested, we are going down up to this zone. We are going down to this zone, and then we shall wait for this zone to be broken. So you are going to enter for sale from this zone and target your PP from up to here. Then you are going to wait for this zone to be broken like that, and then we join the swing trader. We shall hold that trade up to this zone. Otherwise, have a blessed week, have a blessed year ahead, and remember to keep safe and apply risk management. Have a blessed week, guys. Thank you very much.